Ladies and gentlemen, as Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. Please be seated.
Lord Lieutenant, Vice Chairman of Leicestershire County Council, civic guests, the delegation from the United Arab Emirates, distinguished honorary fellows of the university, parents, friends and graduands. As Vice-Chancellor, I am delighted to welcome you to this degree congregation and to give a very special welcome to our new Chancellor, Bruce Lord Grocott. A warm welcome to you. Lord Grocott was installed as our sixth Chancellor yesterday afternoon at a graduation ceremony. He is a Leicester graduate, and I am sure you, the graduates of this university, will identify with him. Mr. Chancellor, we wish you every success in your new role and look forward to working with you. This degree congregation is a celebration principally for postgraduates who constitute almost 50% of the university's population, a feature that makes Leicester unique among UK universities, as we have a high proportion of postgraduate students who study with us on a part-time basis, both on campus and by distance learning. We do not just talk about lifelong learning, we do it. We believe in it, and we wish to continue developing the area of lifelong learning and part-time education on campus and by distance. We hope you will remember this as a very special day for yourselves and your family, and that you will continue to follow the fortunes of your university that has established a very distinguished record. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 23,000 students, and we employ 4,000 staff. And last year, the university had a turnover of £263 million, a sum that has doubled over the last 10 years. We are, therefore, a big business with higher education at its very heart. The last year, in particular, witnessed many achievements for Leicester. In the league tables, Leicester is in 17th place in the Times and 19th in the Guardian. Clearly, looking at this all very carefully, it is very evident to us that the Times is the most reliable guide to UK higher education. Demand for undergraduate places is a popular topic in the press at the present time, where journalists seem to celebrate any statistic they can find that shows there are fewer students coming into higher education. I'm sure that you will be pleased to know that demand for undergraduate places is up by 6% in this university. Our annual research income has increased over the last academic year to over £50 million, and we have continued to win many awards, including the Scholar Library Design Award and also an award, I'm sure you will be pleased to know, for our outstanding library team. One reason for our success is the equal focus Leicester places on providing high-quality teaching linked to high-quality research. The university's performance in the last research assessment exercise earned Leicester a position in the top 20 research-intensive universities in the UK, while internationally we were placed in the top 2% of universities in the world. All our teaching is supported by leading-edge research, and we know that our research has the greatest impact of any Midlands university, and the 8th greatest impact in the UK, as measured by the QS World University Rankings, using citation data, that is, using data that illustrate the frequency with which people working in this university are quoted by people in other institutions. In terms of our estate, we have completed and opened last September a new £16 million medical research building. We have also opened recently 2 new sports centres, one on main campus and another in Oadby. We have gone, therefore, from being a university without a swimming pool at all to one that now has 2 pools. And currently, we have under construction a £17 million management training centre that I'm sure many future graduates in the degree programmes that you represent will have an opportunity of using that facility. Certainly, our work never ceases, and we're currently reviewing our £1 billion development framework plan. We are creating plans for new research, new teaching programmes, and new community links. This year, we have launched 3 new research centres in medical humanities, landscape interaction and change, and bioengineering. And these are now to be joined by a centre focusing on the future of work, and next April we shall also be opening a new research centre focused on the field of genetics. All of this demonstrates that we are a dynamic 21st century university that provides high-quality research and teaching alongside meeting widening participation benchmarks and providing an excellent student experience. It is these features that lead to a positive institutional ethos. We are committed to the development of your employability. Whether you have already gained a graduate job or you are still trying to do so, the Careers Service would like to keep in touch. Your relationship with the university does not end when you graduate. In many ways, this is just the beginning. We want you to be proud of your achievements at Leicester and to continue your connection with the university. This means letting us know how you're getting on and letting us help you whenever and wherever we can. Higher education is facing many challenges in the UK that is not the making of the sector itself. At the University of Leicester, we start from a good position, with strong student demand, growing research activity, and sound finances. We see the benefits of progress made in the last few years. We are determined to rise to the challenge and take up new opportunities, review our activities, and work in new ways wherever and whenever we need to do so. As I want you, the graduates, parents, friends, and supporters of the university, to continue to be proud of us. This will be our aim. Finally, I would like to congratulate you all on the degrees you have obtained and look forward to seeing you at alumni events in the future. And at this stage, I would like you, the graduating class of 2013, to join me in a round of applause for all your parents, friends and supporters who've supported you through your programme in the university. That's great. Have a really enjoyable day. Applaud your fellow students. And on behalf of the whole university, I wish you every success in your future lives and careers.
Will all graduands please stand?
By the authority of the Senate, I admit candidates both present and absent to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Mr. Chancellor, as head of the College of Social Science, I present the following candidates for their degrees. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Sandra Arewella.
Very good crowd out there.
Tarek Omar. Ala Osman.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've now reached that stage in the proceedings where the formal part is nearly over and all that remains is for the Chancellor, that's me, to say a few words. As the Vice-Chancellor has already said, this is the first full ceremony that I've been presiding over from beginning to end, and I just have to say to you that for me it really has been a delight. It's seeing the smiling faces coming along the stage and welcoming people and seeing the pleasure, the understandable pleasure that you feel in receiving your degrees. A few whoops from the audience, that always livens things up a bit, doesn't it? And I always watch for, as a former politician, I always watch very carefully the ones that wave at the audience, and I think, my word, there's someone on their way there. You've got to watch them. But particularly, I suppose, having got my first degree at this university, as the Chancellor said, it just seems 5 minutes since I was doing what you've been doing today, except mine was only a first degree, whereas most of you I know have got all sorts of dramatic and improved degrees on that, so it's been a very, very good experience. But I really must begin my remarks by giving a special welcome and congratulations to today's recipient of the honorary degree. That's Diana Garnham, Chief Executive of the Science Council. Now, we've already heard from Stuart Peterson about her achievements over the years. It's a special pleasure for me to welcome Diana because she, like me, was a graduate of Leicester University, and believe it or not, as she's already mentioned, both of us studied politics, so you never know quite where a degree in politics at the University of Leicester might take you. And with Diana, there really is a strong link between her life in the scientific community and her background of a social science degree here, and that's her lifelong interest in the social consequences of science, a hugely important subject. So Diana is a very worthy and welcome addition to the ranks of our honorary graduates, and we're delighted to have her with us here today. And to all of you today that have been graduating from the College of Social Science, and the specialisms are always intriguing to read about: criminology, economics, management and labour market studies. And I've got to say, having spent so many years in Parliament, that the subjects that you've studied probably get debated than almost any others. They're certainly subjects of great public interest and importance. And particularly to the economists, you know, there's a heavy burden on you. You're going to be very busy. Just for starters, how about these two questions? What about membership of the European Union? Is that an economic advantage or is it a disadvantage? Or what about independence for Scotland? Is that economically an advantage to Scotland or a disadvantage? I mean, None of this stuff about on the one hand, on the other. Someone's got to make their minds up, and it's got to be a professional economist somewhere, hasn't it? I mean, you've got to give us the advice anyway. So to all of you, whatever your specialisms, I make this simple point, that your achievements are not only a benefit to you, they're of enormous importance to all of us. And I'll make the obvious comment that a country's investment in education is an investment in the future. So this has been a happy event for staff, relatives, friends, students, and it's been a very happy one for me too. In essence, it's a celebration of the conclusion of what for many of you has been quite a long journey. I know that you've come here from many different routes, some part-time, some combining studies with a full-time job, and that's an extraordinarily difficult thing to do. Some resident here in Leicester, some by distance learning. And you've come from many different countries, but it started for most of you with that first day as an undergraduate, what must sometimes feel like a lifetime ago now. And just cast your mind back for a moment, the first day as an undergraduate. If you're like most of us, it's a pretty nervous day. You look around and think, is everyone else much cleverer than me? Am I doing the right course? Perhaps I should quit while I'm winning. It's all very, very difficult to begin with, unless you're one of those very lucky ones who know they're going to get a first and end up as Governor of the Bank of England or something, but you don't get too many of those. And since then, think of all the hurdles that you've cleared along the route to the position that you're in today. So to all of you, I say, at the end of this part of your journey, very well done indeed. Your degree is a badge of achievement, of endeavour and success. It's yours for the rest of your life, and particularly in the present economic climates, when we all know job times are difficult, job availability, this is something that will always be there, sound and secure, giving you real confidence in your ability, in your capacity to face challenges and to succeed. What's more, whichever employer you approach, you can do so in the certain knowledge that you've got a good degree from a first-class university, a university, moreover, which has a particular reason to be proud of its record in postgraduate education. More than half, as you've heard from the Vice-Chancellor, of our students are on postgraduate courses. So always be proud of the university where you obtained your degree. And I do really love the title of this university, the phrase that's often used to describe it. Leicester University, elite but not elitist. It's a friendly, inclusive place. No wonder we record records of student satisfaction at record levels, putting us consistently in the top 10 since the annual survey first started in 2005. It's a university which is enriched by recruiting students from around the world and from the widest range of backgrounds. Leicester's Britain's only top 20 university, which meets official government benchmarks for students from state schools and from lower socio-economic groups. It's a rich, varied environment in which you've obtained your degrees and for which I've no doubt you'll continue to benefit. Now, I also want to say to those of you who've been awarded your degrees today, a simple thank you. During my career, I've spent a fair amount of time talking to graduates and undergraduates on courses, and many of you may be surprised to know that teachers and lecturers are delighted by the input that students give to us. As a teacher, you appreciate so many of the things that students do. They ask you interesting questions, and what's more, you always feel pride in their achievements when they leave and go on to do other things. So it's saying goodbye, and in many cases, goodbye to this phase of your course, but I know that many of your teachers will be sorry to see you move on, though delighted that you're moving on to other things. So I simply say on behalf of the staff of the university that as well as saying well done to all of you, we also say thank you for the contribution that you've made to the development and success of Leicester University. And this is the right moment as well to add another word of thanks which is to your families and friends who I know will have encouraged you and supported you along the way. And finally, I just want to say this. Good luck. Might seem a pretty simple thing to say, but some people would say, of course, that luck is one of life's most important ingredients. I certainly know in my own profession of politics that a few votes one way or the other is the difference sometimes between triumph and disaster. Whole books have been written on the subject. But I hope that your time here at Leicester will have shifted the odds substantially in your favour for whatever lies ahead. I hope you'll keep in touch and tell us what you're doing, because, of course, your success, in part at least, is our success as well. Your predecessors have contributed, and you've awarded an honorary degree to one today, have contributed massively to making Leicester University the fine university it is today, and I know you will be adding to that. I hope you'll encourage others to consider studying here. I hope you'll each, in your own way, be ambassadors for our university. So to all of you finally, I offer you the simplest of messages. Well done, thank you, and in the years ahead, I wish you every possible success. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my job as Chancellor to formally declare this congregation closed.